Welcome back to another episode of the T2 Book Club. With me, as always, is my dog. She's right here. Say hi, dog. Today we're going to be talking about The Human Division with John Scalzi. This happens to be a signed copy of The Human Division. I don't know how it turned out that way. To a guy named Kevin. Can you see that right there? Kevin, enjoy. And then down here, and Scalzi signed it, whatever. Scalzi's kind of like one of us. He's like he's probably younger than me actually, but he's kind of from our generation, kind of a gamer. Seems like kind of, I don't know, one of us. And this is a continuation of the series of books that started out with this book, Old Man's War. And I think I got recommended that by somebody on YouTube, a gamer that had posted a picture of them. They were going on vacation. They had like Zoe's Tale with them or something. Might have been Penny Arcade. Yeah, I think Penny Arcade got me into it. Anyway, just to get you into what Old Man's War is about, it's kind of like, what is it like? I don't know what it's like. So you got everybody on Earth, like us. When they hit the age of 75, when you get old enough, you can be drafted, or not drafted, you can choose to go into the Colonial Defense Forces, a military organization. Nobody knows what it is, but they know you're old, and they put you in the military, so it must be something. You go into space, and you never come back. So everybody's like, oh, that sounds like kind of risky, but it sounds like better than just laying around and dying and getting old, so a lot of them sign up for it. So what happens? Well, they take your brain and they put it into a cloned version of your own DNA. So it's like a younger body of yourself. So they make you young again. And they also soup you up and make you a super soldier. So I'll go through this page here that explains your new body. I think I've already talked about this before in another video. But you get green skin because you have like chlorophyll incorporated into your cells, which optimizes your body's use of oxygen and carbon dioxide. You'll feel fresher longer. It's kind of like Starship Troopers. That's what it's kind of like. But there's no insect aliens, but there's like all these hundreds of alien races that they go out and they have to kind of make alliances with some of them, and they fight some of them. And let's see. Your blood tissue has been replaced by smart blood. It's like this gray blood. Increases oxygen carrying capacity fourfold while it guards your body against diseases, toxins, and death from blood tissue loss. So it can regenerate itself faster than normal blood, and you're immune to diseases and poisons and stuff. And you can hold your breath for like 10 minutes easily, which kind of makes some where they eventually have these special forces guys that they give them a different body, not like a human body, but kind of like a turtle body, that they can survive out in a vacuum of space, and your blood is like keeps you alive for like a long time. And they just like sit out in the vacuum of space and watch for ships coming in, but nobody knows they're there because they're so small. They're just like people, which normally wouldn't be able to survive. Cat's eye technology gives you sight you have to see to believe. Increased rod and cone counts gives you better imaging resolution that can be achieved in naturally evolved systems, while specially designed light amplifiers allow you to see clearly in extreme low light situations. So you can see better and you can see in the dark. Uncommon Scent suite of sense enhancements allows you to touch, smell, hear, and taste like you never have before. And that's another thing. When they get all these old people and they give them new bodies, like young, hot, sexy bodies, what do you think they do? Massive orgies. That's right. I don't think they can get pregnant either. So it's like no risk. Plus they don't get any disease because of the smart blood. How strong do you want to be with hard arm technologies? This kind of sounds like some Fallout kind of stuff too, doesn't it? Like the propaganda shit from Fallout. Boost your natural muscle strength and reaction time to be stronger and faster than you ever dreamed possible. So strong and fast, in fact, that by law, Colonial Genetics can't sell this technology on the consumer market. That's a real leg up for you recruits. That sounds like Starship Trooper stuff. Never be unconnected again. You'll never lose your brain pal computer because it resides in your own brain. So this is like the best. This is what the future needs to be. Your brain pal, you have a computer in your brain that can connect to the internet. It can connect to other people around you. And the main character of this book, they have a situation where they're fighting these aliens and they're all like shooting them, and they have like shields or something that's blocking the bullets. So he figures out that there's a weak spot. If you shoot the weak spot, it gets them to drop their shields, and then you can shoot them in the head and kill them. So he figures out a firing solution. And once he figures it out, he can propagate it through his brain power to all the connected people, and then all of a sudden everybody knows it, and then everybody's killing all these aliens. They just instantly get wrecked. It's like that 100th monkey thing I think Joe Rogan was talking about a long time ago. Like, if you have like thousands of monkeys and one of them figures out how to use a tool, that's fine. And it'll like slowly, it'll like teach 10 monkeys, and then 10 monkeys will slowly figure it out, and then 50 monkeys will figure it out. But once that 100th monkey figures it out, all of them, all thousands, every monkey everywhere, they all suddenly know how to use that tool because of the nature of, I don't know, math or propagation math or something. I don't know. So that's pretty much the basics of what all the body can do. So this book, Human Division, is a continuation of some stories that happens. I think the book before this, John Perry, the main character of that book, gets an alien fleet together and they disband the Colonial Defense Forces and then become the Conclave. Now, the Conclave is a group of a bunch of different alien races that have all combined into one big organization. But the Colonial Defense Forces are holding out because they don't want to join the Conclave, and there's like a division amongst humanity on Earth that some want to join the Conclave and some want to stay with Colonial Defense Forces and be independent because they're kind of pissed off that they finally realized when all these hundreds of alien spaceships come out in orbit, like, what's going on? Like, they didn't even know there were aliens, and all of a sudden they find out all their old people have been shipped off into the military, and they're like, why did you keep this a secret from us for so long? And it kept us in the dark, and they're just kind of using us as a farm to get soldiers and stuff. So they're kind of pissed off at the military or the government. So this book is about a diplomatic ship. A lot of different various stories. One of them is named Abumwe. And let's see. See, the character development is not very good. The book is more about the science and the stories of what they do with the abilities that they have in this universe. It's not really about the characters so much. Like, they're kind of like throwaway characters. You don't really have to get interested in the people themselves, but Harry Wilson, he's like the one CDF guy that's on this diplomatic mission. He's like not really that well trained. He's not like he doesn't stay in shape. He's just kind of like a research and development guy, like a computer guy. But he's still like, he can out fight anybody and out wrestle anybody. He has to fight this alien at one point naked with a spear. It's pretty awesome. And he doesn't really do that good, but he ends up winning. Oh, Coloma, that's another one of the characters. Like, I don't even remember their names. Rigney. So at one point they have a situation with these missiles that have been left in space with these computers on them. That once this diplomatic ship shows up that they're supposed to be negotiating with, it fires on them and makes it look like their ship fired on them. And he discovers it because he's out in space holding his breath in the vacuum like that. And he ends up like fucking up their, what do you call the little ship that goes from the big ship to the Earth? The shuttle. He fucks up her shuttle a few times. And then there's a story about a dog. There's this alien race that has a king, and like if you put the crown on, it has these micro nanotubules that come out and bond itself to your head so you can't get it off. So this dog accidentally finds the dead king in this hole in the ground, and it gets the crown on his head somehow, and it gets stuck to his fur. So that he's like kind of becomes the king of these aliens for a while because of the rules or something. And there's a lot of little interesting stories like that. One where the Conclave shows up and attacks, and they're in this the beanstalk, they call it. It's like a big tube that goes from the ground to orbit. That's how, like, the elevator that they get them from Earth to space. And all these people are up there on it, and they attack it, and they kill a bunch of people. But Harry Wilson, whatever his rank is, and this other chick that's just a regular human, he was supposed to be doing this, what they call a drop. When you go to a planet and you assault a planet, you like drop from space. And they were going to do it with this military guy, but he ended up getting killed. So he takes the suit and he gives it to this girl, and he has to like tandem dive with her, just like jumping, free falling from space. And he uses his brain power computer in his brain to like make this thing. It's not really made out of fabric. It's made out of like nanobots. So it becomes like a shield, a heat shield around you, and it keeps you sealed in. And then once you get into the atmosphere, it becomes a parachute, and you can control all of it with your brain. I think you can also control like the nanobots in your bloodstream if you wanted to, and like really like fine-tune shit. But it's pretty crazy. So, other than that, I mean, if you don't care about character development, it's a really good book. A lot of good stories in it. I would definitely recommend reading the first book and seeing what you think about that, because this one is going to make you be like, holy shit, that's awesome. And this one is like just a continuation of like doing the awesome stuff. I can't remember what the second and third books are about. They're really good too.